And we are back. Man, that show, I mean, maybe it's just because it's me and like 1997, I'm just like have an obvious hard on for that year. But like, I don't know, man. This specific In Your House just hit me in the feels in all the right ways. I was pleasantly surprised with it. Sometimes these one-off In Your Houses kind of suck, and this one was the tits, man. It was the cat's meow. Wex, what do you think?
Hey, man, to be honest, anytime it's In Your House that's named after a certain wrestler, it's usually pretty good. Like, those are the ones that usually hit.
The D-Generation X one?
Exactly. Rock Bottom.
Rock Bottom.
Those are both great. And this was, it was a pretty solid In Your House. Like, if we're going to just talk about, like, pure wrestling, like the in-ring work, I'm going to go New Japan all day. But like you said, the nostalgia, the storylines of all that shit from 97, it's kind of hard because that New Japan show, I know, was long as fuck. I mean, it did have some good story stuff. You see Juice Robinson turning heel, joining the Bullet Club, like some pretty significant stuff going on there. But it's just really kind of hard to compete with that old school, just that feel.
Yeah.
I mean, we call it we do the nostalgia shows for a reason, and that nostalgia hits good sometimes. So
it does. It does. And honestly, I'm listen, guys, like, people like New Japan, and that's cool. I just don't like that style. Like, it's just not for me. I don't like the presentation. It's just not my thing. And I like Japanese culture, but I don't like New Japan, man. It just doesn't work for me. Every now and then we have some amazing matches in New Japan, but the shows, the way they're formatted, it's almost like they literally make a card where it's like the least important match to the most important match, like all of them in order. And so that just it makes it weird, because then it's like if the second to last, the semi main event just goes ham and claps, then like the next two matches are kind of like left lingering with a hangover a little bit. And I think that was kind of the case with this New Japan show, and they're just too long, man. I mean, Jesus, 4 hours long for a pay-per-view? Golly.
Well, then maybe you will like the Forbidden Door show coming up. That's going to be probably a more AEW style book show, which fucking sold out in like 40 minutes.
Yeah,
the United Center, which is insane, but they've done it before. And like, did y'all really think some people, talking shit online, like, as you like, you're a hardcore wrestling fan, but still you're not like big into New Japan, and they're talking about like casuals and stuff. And I understand, but dude, do y'all really think it wasn't going to sell at the United Center? Come on now.
Right.
Like, come the fuck on.
Oh, I mean, yeah, absolutely.
People were like, oh, this doesn't appeal to the casual fans and only men like it and all this bullshit. But, dude, everyone loves fucking wrestling. It's not like no one knows who New Japan is. If you're a Ring of Honor fan, you're probably an AEW fan. And Ring of Honor's been working with New Japan for fucking years. I have one of the old War of the Worlds DVDs from like 2014.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be more of that vein, like World of Worlds.
But I mean, New Japan has that long pedigree too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
New Japan has a WWE lengthy pedigree. Like, they've been around for forever. So there's a certain level of
Brock
reverence.
Lesnar, world champions. It's not like they have like no scrubs out here.
Yeah.
Bob Sapp was their champion though, which was kind of weird at one point. But that's when they were doing that hack MMA shit.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah, Nakamura. I mean, there's lots of good people. I mean, Tanahashi, Okada. I mean,
Naito. Yeah.
And that's just we're just talking about modern people though, and like you can even go back farther than that. But like, not world champion, but you got Liger, Tiger Mask, like just so much history there.
Yeah, man, so much history indeed. I didn't actually prep for this at all, but I guess we kind of have to do some kind of like trivia question here, right? So you know what I'm going to go with? We had talked about shows from Japan. Give me your number one show from like a quote unquote international promotion, whether it be like AAA or New Japan. Like, if you had to say like, this is what I liked, this is how I became a fan of this style of wrestling, what is it for you?
Oh, for me, definitely it would probably be Wrestle Kingdom. I want to say 9 or 10.
Okay.
But the Young Bucks were in a 3-way match for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championships. And that's like really when I was like starting to get into them. And it was a fucking really good. I think it was Red Dragon and then maybe Forever Hooligans, which was Alex Koloff and Rocky Romero. It was his tag team before he had the one with Trent Beretta.
Yeah.
Forever Hooligans. Like, I want to say those are the people who were, and like, it was just fantastic. That whole show. That's when Kenny Omega, I want to say, maybe joined the Bullet Club or had just joined. I mean, It was a great
Yeah.
show, and that was the first like old school Bullet Club. Like AJ Styles had still in the Bullet Club at this point, I think, or he had just left, maybe one of the two. No, he was still in the Bullet Club. No, still in the Bullet Club at this point, because right after this, I will never forget there was a Ring of Honor TV around that time.
Yeah.
Where there was a match between like Matt Sydal and some other people against AJ and the Young Bucks, and they just had this overkill on Matt Sydal where they just did every fucking finisher. That era got me into where I'm at today with my, like fandom of Japanese wrestling and all that stuff, Ring of Honor.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it wasn't really, I never really got into any other international promotion, and that's like on me. But I have hunted down every other like domestic promotion though. Like I've seen tape, especially with just having like the network of like, Smoky Mountain and UWF and Mid-South and, USWA growing up here. And, I try to seek out as much as I can. I do remember watching a lot of the Calgary stuff on the network, so I guess that would technically be international, but I feel like it's saying Canada is just a little bit weirder. But I will say that there is a specific style that they kind of had, especially on those Calgary shows from like the mid 80s that did very much feel like
the Stampede wrestling.
Yeah, Stampede. Yeah.
They kind of had that more sport, fast paced kind of feel.
Yeah, it was almost like it blended like the speed of lucha libre, but the technical side of like the British style of wrestling. So it was very good. I mean, I feel like every different world has something to add to like the melting pot that is professional wrestling. I think right now, obviously AEW and WWE are still on top, but it's exciting to see this mixture with New Japan and AEW kind of being able to blend and put it in like a spotlight thing. I think it's a good thing for wrestling fans. I am excited about
it. Yeah, me too. It's going to be really fucking sick. I can't wait for the Forbidden Door. I can't wait for Double or Nothing. I am going to watch WrestleMania Backlash.
You have to, because
for the show, but I am looking forward to watching Backlash 2002 because that's a fucking
yes. Yeah, next week.
I am looking forward to that.
Yeah, next week is WWF's Backlash 2002 going up against WWE's WrestleMania Backlash 2022. So it will be very cool. I like nitpicking this stuff because it's like they're both themed shows. You know what I mean? Like Backlash is a theme. It's kind of its own like vibe to it. And I'm going to be most excited about like comparing how that vibe holds up 20 years later. But yeah, I'm super pumped about it, man. 02 again, like I feel like we're just having a really good time trucking along in that storyline. And it's been a while actually now. It's been almost a month since we've covered an 02 show. So
yeah, and I'm pretty sure 02 Backlash, is that the one, at least that one a few years later, where the logo had like the fucking scythes like going like that?
Yeah, I think so. I think this is or maybe it was 01.
I just remember that style, like that era Backlash. Good shit.
Yeah, see, I mean, that's what I miss from these early 2000s shows specifically, is that like every single arena looked so different. Like it was completely different every time and very thematic. And now it's just like you change the colors on the Jumbotron and that's all it is. You know what I mean? It's like the same exact setup as you always use for SmackDown or Raw or anything else. It's just very sterile.
That's why it's cool that AEW, at least on their pay-per-views, they make it different from Dynamite.
That's true.
I'll give them that.
That's true. I agree. But I feel like they could go a little bit more ham with that, in my opinion. But
maybe they'll get there.
Maybe they will. 2 weeks from now, we have a return of the Baker's Dozen. You know what? This thing has been a hit since it started. It was the underdog sleeper. All these Baker's Dozen episodes are just knocking it out of the park. I'm super hype about it. I love Jesse getting the spotlight in there and spotlighting the best in independent wrestling. 3 weeks from today, it's WWF In Your House, A Cold Day in Hell, 1997, going up against WCW Slamboree, 1997, and that's going to be the return of Jesse with the Wex on the meat and potatoes of that one. So, yeah, we got tons of really good stuff coming up for this month, man. We got tons of really good stuff. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, me too. Very hyped for the month of May. April sucked. I hated that month, but I'm looking forward to May.
Getting hyped about May. You can always find me at Daniel Daybreak. You can always find the show at KAFabeCom on all the socials except for TikTok. It's at KAFabeCom Pod there. Be sure to find us on YouTube as well. You can always find some decent little clips here and there. Wex, give them the script, baby. Where can they find you?
You can always find your boy Wex at Wex Breaking the Lawson on all of your social medias except Facebook, because I'm kind of laying low key. And I want y'all to keep up with that kayfabe comparisons. TikTok and the YouTube, just like you said. TikTok usually has more videos. YouTube usually more of the news, maybe some more special things here and there. But TikTok is where it's heavy, where it's active. So get on there, holler at us. We're glad to do some interactions. We're loving it.
We are loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. That'll do
McDonald's,
it for us
baby.
this week. We'll see you guys next week. We're out. Peace.